Hello, everyone. I'm Steve. Mark's behind the camera. Say hi, Mark.
Howdy, everybody.
And this is Smokey Steve and Mark. Hello again, everyone. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday, and happy Halloween. It is also the weekend, so we know what that means. Like my Sailmail mug, it's pretty cool. It was Mark's mother's, I believe. Today we are doing sugar-free hazelnut powdered coffee make creamer, which is not bad. And some dark roast Pike's Peak something or other, which is pretty good. So I hope everyone's well, everyone's safe, celebrate responsibly. Public health protocols in your region, they're all different. And look after yourselves, the people you care about, and if you're gonna have fun, have some fun. Be safe. So we are going to pick up where we left off with our fair lady, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, the Daily Chantal Chantopoulos, and of course Foodie Beauty again. She hasn't changed the name of the channel in a while. I think we're overdue. So we did a live last week, and we covered pretty much, there wasn't too much content to cover, so we kind of talked about some of the bullet points that were going on. There was the apology that wasn't an apology. That was kind of the big thing that went on last week, where Chantal kind of went back and said, in her interactions with Charlie Gold and her back and forth, she kind of pulled back on an apology she'd given for saying something that was more than just perceived as a racially charged thing to say to Charlie Gold. And there was conflict back and forth, conflict mixed with drama, mixed with legitimate points that were being made, and essentially Chantal backed away from all of it and said, I didn't do anything wrong anyway, so I should have apologized. Pete's pretty much apologized the first time anyway. Chantal just nodded her head and said, yeah, that's terrible. And he gave his social justice speech. So that had happened. VLOGtober stopped and started several times as well, because the videos kind of came, went. And where we left off, she was also having those Korean rice dogs. So she had made a 4-hour drive, I believe, Ottawa to Toronto. Fact check me. And she was going to get some food, essentially. So that was where we were getting into for this week. She had already had one of the meals she made the trip for, and then she's going to go in to have another. This week also, there's 2 live haunts that she drives through, a try-on, and a short film with her and Pete's where they do a little bit of acting. We did a little bit of acting. So it's you know, I get it. I'm not in costume today. Yesterday I was, well, you have to watch yesterday's video. We did a Halloween fashion show. I was a few things. I'll tell you one, Cher. Because I'm the taller one. So, before we jump in, actually, at the very end of last week, I think it was like Saturday night, and since we check in Saturday day, I didn't have it to show. It was at the tail end of Chantal trying to squash hate and shamers and everything, and it was one of those say it loud, I'm fat and I'm proud kind of things. Hey guys, please do not send me DMs or emails telling me what others are saying about me in any form. I am choosing to focus only on my fans and loyal viewers, and anyone else will be talking to themselves from now on. I mostly only ever hear about weirdos by you telling me about them. That mostly is a very... mostly. I think she searches her own name, honestly. I think big creators who have a lot of reaction channels made about them do. I don't think any of them take the high road. I don't think any of them do. Or they wouldn't be so bitter. And if there was videos around me out there, I'd probably watch them too. I think it's kind of human to be snoopy and nosy, and, you know, if you're insecure. And everyone feels insecure at least a little once in a while. So, I mean, I'm not mad at her, but I think she's lying. I will be deleting and ignoring all messages relating to any drama baiting and engagement, and also deleting anything of such matters in my comments. I will continue to work on growing my channel on love and creativity and not childish petty hate and drama, and making up crap that isn't there. I feel good about that. I will continue to be unapologetic about what I eat and how I look and how I voice my opinions. If that makes you uncomfortable or angry, that is not my problem anymore. Like a great one once said, what you think of me is none of my business. Now back to regular programming. So Chantal has a habit of that as well. She'll insert herself or find herself in a situation, make it messy. People will be having feelings about it, and then she'll step back and go, I'm rising above this. This happened the last time with Charlie Gold, when there was some issue. Fighting amongst each other, Chantal gets a few of her dirty digs in. Other people do too. And then Chantal, for her part of it, steps away from any responsibility in the situation. And I'm rising above this. I'm above the haters. I will be deleting any comments that suggest that I'm responsible for any piece of what's going on right now. This had an update as well. I forgot to add that I in no way have stopped dealing with the bullying behind the scenes, as many reaction videos violate bullying guidelines by maliciously targeting me every video and insulting physical attributes, weight, hygiene, etc. And since I am part of the YouTube Partner Program, I will be in direct contact with someone, and if they do nothing, I will reach out to the media to help bring awareness to this issue. We're in the middle of a global pandemic. The election that's happening in the United States is going to probably get interesting. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. I think, a small little piece, wasn't that one with the wig? The pink wig? That got some minor media attention as well, I think. And I wonder who instigated that. Hate on the internet is a problem, and while it is unrealistic to think it will disappear completely, I feel that social media platforms should protect their creators from abuse. So make your videos while you can, because I'm not giving up. It's wrong. Make them while you can is something that's come out a lot, too. Over the few years that I've watched Chantal. Get it while you can, because I'm the striking and the whatnot. So that was the leftover of you don't own me, all that kind of I'll eat what I want, it's my party. Do me, do all that kind of stuff. So for this week, live Halloween haunt. That was the first video. She's wearing the Bowie shirt. We're in the car. So this is a drive-through haunt, and Pete's is with her for this. The timeline of all her videos this week is screwy, because she did, the Korean things, and then she eats some Jollibee, and that's in the same day. And then there was a haunt that night, but there was a haunt the following night, and then she tried on some clothes. If you put it all together, it looks like, 7 days, she didn't put out 7 videos, and it looks like she only filmed about 2, maybe 3 of them. So people do that. But, I don't know. Remember she took all this time off to plan? So whatever personal stuff has come up must be very time-consuming, I suspect. So, the Bowie shirt, again, Pete's is with her, and I'm thinking if she screams the whole time, she screams the whole time. She screams the whole time. It's kind of a creepy drive-through. Chantal gives us the strobe alert. So if you have epilepsy or are prone to seizures, please be careful. As a sidebar, seizures are very painful after the fact. If you think CrossFit strains your muscles, I've had a couple. Detox. I used to drink a little. And when you stop suddenly, you can have seizures. Muscles I didn't know I had hurt afterwards. You ever get knots in your collarbone? 12 minutes in, they flip the camera from themselves forward, and they start driving, so you can see forward what they're doing. Chantal continuously says, "Where do I go? Where am I supposed to go?" So she's either frazzled or... because there's guys with things, like at the airport, telling you go like this, and cones all over the road. So she's scared, distracted, I don't know. But she said it so many times that when I even looked in the comments, people had mentioned it. So after they're done with the drive, which was about 18 minutes of this drive-through haunted thing, they talk about scary things that they each like, the existence of Bigfoot, very earth-shattering things. Next, first time trying Jollibee mukbang. Now, Jollibee, if you ever followed Cynthia and Thomas Beaumont, when Tommy was still alive, Jollibee mukbangs were huge a year, 2 ago. It was a while back. All of a sudden, a couple people had it, then everybody was freaking eating Jollibee. I remember the Beaumonts were going several times a month to go get it and film it because they were trying to get on the train too. And who could blame them? It was a pretty successful thing. People were just eating fried chicken and this gravy and spaghetti, and they were getting lots of views. So Chantal finally made her way and got some. This was the same day as the mozzarella, rice dogs that she had tried. So she was a little full. So she only bought $30 worth of food. 3 pies, a family spaghetti, and a 6-piece. Now, some of this was supposed to go back for Pete's to try as well. So she started with the spaghetti. Now, I have to say what you will about Chantal. I do. A lot of people do. I kind of trust her judgment on some foods, because I was given a hairy eyeball to this spaghetti, too. It's all a matter of taste, but I think her taste in food is kind of similar to mine. She likes a lot of the same foods I like. She dislikes a lot of the same foods that I like. She kept calling it different, weird, and nothing I've ever had. She didn't like it. She straight didn't like it. It was too sweet. She likes savory stuff. She said Pete's may not like it. Pete's can probably stomach it. I think Pete's has a very strong constitution. He'd have to get that close to her feet to put her socks on. So I think he can manage some spaghetti. He's gonna have to do it without the hot dogs, though, because she liked the hot dogs. She ate those. And I don't know. It depends on how close you are. They dated. They were together for years. So I imagine he doesn't mind if her fork was all twirled up in his sauce. But some people could take issue with that. And, yeah, she liked that. No foodgasm, though. We didn't get a shh, I say shh. So she didn't like it that much because she wasn't having a moment. Now, she is creeping and peeking. I even put in my notes creeping and peeking, if you can see. That's the drawing I did. As to the creeping and the peeping and the looking around places while she's eating, a few things come to mind. One, having a drug problem. Chantal identified herself as a food addict. That's not something that goes away just because you stop talking about it. It's as true as it was the day you say it. So there's that issue. It reminds me of myself a little. I'm not trying to generalize to you, but her behavior looks like my behavior. When I would do that, I would sit and I would drink in the car because I was an irresponsible, reckless, selfish asshole, and dart out windows to see who was looking. Now, I'm thinking, and I'll bring her up later, Hungry Fat Chick, and she's a very different type of mukbanger. First of all, her channel is more than twice the size of Chantal's. Second, she eats with her mouth closed, which means you can be a successful mukbang channel and chew with your fucking mouth closed. It's doable. You don't have to aspire to Nikocado avocado. There's a very... choose your heroes carefully, you know? But Hungry Fat Chick will go into a restaurant, I've seen, or a buffet, and mount her camera on the table and go and get all-you-can-eat shrimp. Go to a Chinese buffet. Go somewhere else. That is closer to what I would say unapologetically eating what you want and not caring. That's a little closer to it. Not creeping and peeping out windows and pulling your food down to the seat so people don't see. That's a little bit different. Further, I believe that for every video you see of Chantal eating in her car, there's probably a couple other ones that you don't. A couple other trips to the drive-thru. And I know she said she's not binging on camera, but is breaking up the binge between two places not make it a binge? I don't know. She said she doesn't binge on camera, she does that in private. I guess we can take her at her word for that. And I guess binge is subjective, or at least she'd like it to be, in order to continue. So, grieving and peeking. She mentioned there's still balloons from the Halloween party in her house. I'll just leave that there. So then she reviews the chicken. And she's still full from the Korean rice cheese dogs, so she's not going as deep into it. The gravy, she said, is cafeteria-style gravy. All this food looked good, except the spaghetti, I guess. The chicken looked fine, but she didn't seem to like any of it. She said it's okay, not better than Popeyes or KFC. A little salty. Must have had... I wasn't getting a lot of chewing noises in this video, even though it was really crunchy fried chicken. I don't know if the mic was down, or if it was just too far away from her, because when she's home eating, you can hear her chewing from here. But in this video, you couldn't. So it was more like a food review. I mean, I guess it would please everyone, and she said she sucks at food reviews. When I first started seeing mukbangs at all, I think the first one I saw was Hungry Fat Chick. And I was treating them like food reviews. She would open up all the food and she would eat. And she'd say, oh, this is good. Oh, this is tasty. Oh, this is that. And then I remember thinking, why would a taste test be 45 minutes long? Like, what would be the need for it? I didn't realize they were going to plow through almost all the food. So it was it was something different that I hadn't seen before. So peach mango pies, they're like McDonald's pies, whatever. She said the real reason for the trip was the drive-through haunt. So again, I'm getting confused on timelines. I don't think she's deliberately being misleading, but because there's no reason. These are eating and haunting videos, but I don't know. Live haunt number 2. So we're facing out. It's not in selfie. It flips a few times, and basically Pete's is filming the drive-thru and Chantal's reactions, and he's following the chat at the same time, because it would not be good for Chantal to not be watching the road. So she's not. He's going along the whole time, thanks for the super chats, thanks for the super chats. Every time she gets one, he's calling it out, with the amount of money, too, that's coming in. So, she said they were going to get demonetized. She was worried they were going to get demonetized for things that were on the Haunted Tour. And she said that last haunting video they did got demonetized because there was something graphic that was seen. In this one, there was a baby getting decapitated, and she was like, we're not going to get monetized now. Monetization is a very funny thing. We had our first weird circumstance with it. Yesterday, we sang one verse from I Got You Babe by Sonny and Cher. It was part of our costume runway thing. And when I went to go monetize it, I got the alert that we thought we were using canned music, third party, whatever, that would have been okay. And it got knocked for copyright ID claim. It wasn't the strike. And the option that was given was to share the revenue with the publisher, because apparently our performance of a third-party creation required us to share that with the publisher. That's okay. I don't mind sharing. You know, I would have put it up probably with nothing because it was getting so late in the night, but sharing, it had never happened to us before, but okay. I guess you learn new stuff every day. The only other option is to go back in and totally edit out the part that has copyrighted material. And in that case, it was 1.5 minutes of the video, and it was a fun 1.5 minutes that we were doing. So that was worth it for that. But getting a baby's head cut off, yeah, I don't know if she's gonna be able to add ads to it. So Pete keeps burping in the car because he's Pete's and she's Chantal. Again, he's thanking every time a super chat comes up. He's giving the thanks out. And then again, this is where I got bored, so I was playing with the timeline again. So like Jollibee and Rice Dog was the same day, but then at the end of the Jollibee video, they were going on a haunted drive. But then she said in the same video she was going to get back late to Ottawa, or to go see him. But then on the video of this, Pete said they had just ordered Red Lobster. But wouldn't she have brought home the Rice Dogs and was that the previous day? Does it matter? Who cares? I don't know. Why do I care? It's none of my business. At any rate. So, she was low on gas. Okay. To go through this drive-thru. I can't imagine something that would be more embarrassing than doing that. Except, sidebar, Mark and I met in rehab. This isn't news if you watched the rest of our videos, but in case you've just met us, Mark and I met in rehab, a very small rehab in a rural part of Pennsylvania. And it was Christmas time, and they try to make it special. Chantal would know if you're in a group home, because she said in one of these that she relayed back to her old experience of that. They try to make it special as best they can. So they put us all in a van, you know, called the Druggy Buggy, if you must, and took us to a drive-through Christmas decoration display. Don't you know that van broke down in the middle of it? Right in the middle of it. Mark, you were there!
I remember!
So all of us, who are quite conspicuous, line up, get out of the van, and go into the gift shop, where we get stares from everybody, because we look like a gang. Yeah, so it would be bad to break down right there. It would be a bad place to run out of gas, especially if you're going very slow and you can't get out, and then how do you get a tow truck in, and messy, messy, messy. So they finished the haunting thing. It was boring. I mean, it was pretty boring. It was 3 drive-thrus this week, plus that dinosaur one she did during the day, so that's 2 plus that. That's 3. I don't know. And Pete's is a very deep person, in case you didn't know. He has more of an existential fear of things, like death and the great beyond, and well, not the great beyond, I think he's an atheist, but like the bigger things in life. Like, he's not afraid of people coming up to the door and screaming at him, you know, and stuff like that.
Yes, he is so very deep.
He is. Pete's isn't as tough as he plays. He's not. He'd crumble in the face of conflict, I think. But that's just me. So then we have a Torrid try-on haul. Okay? Yeah, Torrid. So she's wearing a wig. Hungry Fat Chick vibes. Again, with the wig. I showed Hungry Fat Chick to Mark. And he, jaw drop, eyes open. She looked just like her. I went back to Hungry Fat Chick's Jollibee video. The straight bang, the hair down, the red lipstick. I mean, it looked like her Halloween costume trying to look like Hungry Fat Chick. I don't know. The haul was good. I do have concerns. Chantal isn't care if we're concerned. That she's buying so many clothes because nothing fits anymore, and she's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, fall's a good time to buy clothes, and the clothes fit, except a pair of jeans didn't. But by and large, the only thing that I could really think to say was, Thanks, Miss Glory Gloria. I want a ringtone. That wasn't all of that, but where else do you get to put it in? She did look good in some of the clothing. She did. So she bought some slippers to cover her feet because she said they were kind of gnarly. Entering into real issues of being big, because it's dark humor and a little snide and unfortunately true that she can't reach her feet and Pete has to put her socks on. Now, no one should feel humiliated asking for help, but if it's a situation where there's a bit of prevention, if a person can't reach their feet because they have a disability, a physical disability that they can't do it, it kind of feels like people are more sympathetic to that than a condition like supermorbid obesity, where I think people perceive, rightly, that a person has more leverage over the shape of their body than a person whose body is damaged, maybe from birth, maybe from injury, and they can't do those things, who would kill to do those things. And if all they had to do to get it was eat a little less, they would give anything to be able to do it. They'd be happy to eat a chicken salad with oil and vinegar dressing every day for a year if it meant that they could touch their toes. But not her. So, bigger issue, podiatrist. You might have to go and get your claws cut. Older folks go, because they can't reach that area. And it's a lot to ask someone unless you have a prearranged agreement. I love Mark, but we would have to have a discussion about me grooming his feet. It would be a discussion first. So.
Aw, you wouldn't groom my feet.
You'd have to ask nicely, and I'd have to get something in exchange. It's too much to ask on its own. I'm sorry. It's too much to ask on its own. So, more clothes. Tank top, a necklace, a black Good Vibes t-shirt. Hey girl, I got it in red. Some graphic tees that Pete's might like. There was like a Luna one. That's from some anime thing. Cat Mom. She got some lashes on another one. She got a bathrobe. I'm not going to comment on the fact that all of these clothes are huge, because it's a well-known fact that all of her clothes are huge, because she's a big person. Okay. It catches the eye when a person holds up an article of clothing at a distance that covers the whole camera. Because a lot of times things don't, unless you hold it up very close. So, that's noticeable. It's interesting to see what they make for women her size, because they don't always have a lot of variety and style for women who are 5'2" and 400 pounds. There just isn't. I'm not shaming her for that. I'm just saying that most people aren't that size. So most companies don't make clothes for people that size. So getting something you like and getting something that fits and you like can be hard. But some of this stuff, the jeans didn't fit. They were a size too small. Leggings. I think she could live in leggings. A tunic sweater, which... she got some flats. Never a bad time to get flats. And then underwear. Now, this underwear was not ugly because it was huge. It was not. And she's more than happy to plop her fat ass into it and show it off. And she said as much herself. And be confident, do you. But these underwear were not ugly because they were big. They were ugly because they were ugly. They looked like the pattern on, like, curtains in a cheap motel. They just, with lace, you want to be sexy, buy some black underwear. Everybody, I think, feels a little sexy in black underwear. I don't know. And she's terribly pale. So I think the contrast could work. She needs to go for, like, plus-size pinup as best she can. As best she can. So, what do we got? I ran out of paper and had to start working backwards in my notebook. How far back did we go? Jesus. So, alright. The try-on. How far? Okay. So she tries on a dress and some boots, and she's giving Mama Cass vibes in this. Not bad. The cut of this dress that she's wearing actually seems to work for her. Flows at the bottom, tight at the top. The boots don't make her look shorter, which sometimes I think knee boots do on women, but they didn't. Then she had leggings, tunic, and moccasins. No, the stripes, okay. I've been fat too. Fat people, I've noticed, even when they lose weight, are still a little knock-kneed. Sometimes bow-legged, but knock-kneed. What happens? Bodies collapse under huge amounts of weight. It goes on. And she's a little knock-kneed. And stripes on pants that go up and down like that accentuate that. Makes it look like your legs collapsed. She liked the pattern. You know, obviously she should do her, but it's something that accentuates something that, you know, it's something sometimes people want to hide and or not have attention drawn to. So that was the only thing I had noticed about that. Again, the jeans were too small. She said maybe because they're skinny jeans. When I was fat, every pair of jeans was skinny jeans. Every single pair, because it was like lay down on the bed and close them. For anyone who doesn't follow the channel, my high weight was about 290, I think. When I met Mark, I was about 290. In the rehab where the van broke down and my fat ass is out in the cold by a lit up tree. 290. And right now, I got down to 180 and then I gained 15 of COVID weight back. So I'm about 195. So I'm no stranger to the struggle. I'm also a man. Men don't get as much shit for being fat as women do. That's something I 100% agree with Chantal for. Nevertheless. The robe looked okay. She had the black vibes, the good vibes shirt. And it was very clingy. I don't like clingy shirts. We had those skeleton shirts we wore a couple videos ago. Very sheer. They feel cold because they're so sheer. And it's like slick, but not flattering. I looked a little more busty than I usually do in that. So, that's that. And then Pete's. Smiley Pete's a horror short. So they made a 5-minute video. It's a horror short with a killer on the loose. So they're both acting in this. Chantal comes in, looks at the newspaper, there's a killer on the loose, she asks for the cats, nobody's home, she walks upstairs, she has the camera then kind of like in Blair Witch mode, looking around, and God bless her, it's a mixture of, I think, exaggerated heavy breathing to make it seem Blair Witchy, and a full-on asthma attack she's trying to avoid, because it's her signature heavy breathing when she films. So she's looking around, and then she's like, talking to a friend on the phone, which Pizza's doing his girl voice, and it's not really jiving, and then he shows up at the window, and then he shows up behind her, and then it ends. It was cute. It was a little bit of effort. It was the kind of thing we would do, so it you know, tickled me in the right spots. It was cute. It was something different. It was also put off for a very long time. There was a lot of gaps in her community posts this week where it said, hey, not happening, maybe tomorrow night. Hey, sorry, it's coming in Friday. No video here, no video there. So it's the Vlogtober that wasn't. You know, we got some fall-related content, I guess. I'm not sure what the Korean matzo stick dogs had to do with fall or the Jollibee, but it happened during the fall, so technically it's fall October-esque, I suppose. So we'll see. I don't know. I was a shrouded figure in the yard and we showed some Halloween decorations, so we've checked our Halloween card for this video. Plus, look at this spooky shit. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, you know, I'm trying to be on point with that, but not her. So, where do we go from here? She's going to continue to do her. It's been mukbang after mukbang after mukbang for a while, and then we're heading into cold weather, and then we're heading into the holiday season. For pure spite, she's not going to stop mukbangs. She also hasn't had as many views as usual on her videos. And as usual, the ones I like she won't repeat because they don't... Well, the Torrid try-on haul, 24K. And it was 23 hours ago it was put out. Not bad. Lives, I like doing lives, but I can tell you as a creator, it's one of the laziest kinds of content to make. If you haven't prepared for it or if you have nothing prepared to talk about. Like last week's live, I had some notes, I had some bullet points, and then it just kind of was the general conversation. But I can tell you lives are less after. It just goes up, and you put it up, and you throw some ads in it, and you might have to wait to get it monetized. But there's not the filming, the exporting, the uploading, all the other crap that goes with it. It's a lot of less work after. And Pete's was calling out super chats. So part of me in my head thinks, is she have an idea of how much money she wants to make per video? And then just sits in the live until she hits the amount. And then it's like, okay, guys, I'm tired, bye. Is she doing that? I don't know. Are other people doing it? I imagine as much that it could be done, would be done, is being done. So I don't know if we'll get more lives. Halloween's over, and it's her favorite time of year. So I don't know if we're going to be getting mental Chantal. She's due for a mental health issue, a public one. where she will address it. That hasn't happened in a while. What else could be on deck for Miss Foodie Beauty? Home cooking? That could be a bit. Some old BB drama.
Drama, definitely. We're due for some more drama.
We're due for drama, but what kind of drama? What's going to keep it fresh? We already did some racist shit, so that's done for a while. Striking channels? She's done that too. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Share your thoughts below where you think we're going to be going in the following week or so. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the like button and the bell on your way out so you get the alerts. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc, or on Twitter. Our handle's at SmokeySteveA. Our email address and our contact information is all listed down below. Thank you once again, and Mark and I are going live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, so if you're available, please feel free to stop by. Open discussion, we get onto some of the usual topics, and then just BS. Just come hang out. It's a good time. It's usually pretty chill. We have moderators, but they're not usually that busy because it's usually pretty chill. So hopefully we'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye, everybody.